Well, we'd run the practice for about 10 years, and we built the turnover to very reliably over £100,000 a year, and just running as two of us in the business. And we really reached the point where we thought we'll do something different. So our intention was to sell the practice and retire to the south of France to work on the house we bought.
So selling the business gave us the capital to finish the renovation on the house that we bought in the southwest of France.
I think probably our main concern was to make sure we were marketing to the right potential buyers, people who, not necessarily the similar size of practice, but at least were able to offer a service that was similar to what we had done previously, so that the clients wouldn't feel any major sort of change.
I think another concern was that we didn't really want clients or competitors to know that we were thinking of retiring, and we wanted the entire process to be completely confidential. We'd actually dealt with Nicola previously because we tried to buy a small practice about 3 or 4 years ago. We weren't successful, but the process was, if you like, very reassuring. We had a good experience of how the process was handled, and the fact that Nicola was very hands-off, not at all pushy.
Well, before we made the final decision, we did talk to several other agents and had a very sort of mixed response, to be honest. Some were helpful, some were quite pushy. We had a situation with one person who even had effectively shortlisted some potential buyers for us before we'd even given any sort of commitment in any way at all to go ahead, which was quite surprising. So having had a good experience with Nicola before, that really made that decision for us.
And she gave us a lot of advice, didn't she, on things like pricing, sort of information that we would need to provide, confidentiality agreements, those sort of things which really we had little experience before. So it was very helpful to have all that, if you like, expertise or knowledge.
We'd always operate a very sort of tailored service for clients, and Nicola was able to appreciate that and help in constructing a shortlist that really would be people who could respond to clients in the same way that we had done.
Yeah, so she let us see the list of people she was proposing to send the information to. And also she let us see the content of anything that went to those people. So we were as much in control of the process as Nicola was.
It meant that we could really tailor what we were offering in terms of the practice sale in the way we wanted it to be presented. Yes, we had a whole day set aside, and in total saw five people. 5 different companies.
Yes, Nicola did attend. She gave us the option. There was a small extra cost involved in her coming, but we thought it would be worthwhile. And it did prove to be extremely worthwhile because she kept our timings on track. She was able to give us an objective view of the people we'd seen and their suitability as a buyer. And she was also able to explain to the prospective buyers the situation ongoing and what the next steps would be, which we did find helpful. And in fact, we did have, after that meeting day, we did have 2 extra people who wanted to come and see us. And we did the meetings ourselves. And we found that we overran our allocated time, and it wasn't nearly as easy to keep focused. So yes, it was very helpful.
It was difficult to keep on track and to make sure we covered the same point with everybody in the same way. So yes, that was definitely helpful. Well, we decided at the outset that the only sale we would really want to go ahead with was a sale of the shares as opposed to sale of the goodwill, which we appreciated might be a challenge. But after the meetings with potential buyers, we had 3 definite offers on the basis that we preferred, and a 4th offer, which was an offer for the goodwill. But of those three main offers, one really stood sort of head and shoulders above the others.
Yeah, Nicola did help us review the offers. I mean, she came to the same conclusion as us, that we'd be stupid not to accept the obvious one. But, she did actually go through that review process with us.
Well, we set Nicola a tough challenge because we'd said we really wanted to be out in a certain period of time, which was fairly short.
3 months.
3 months. We didn't really want to be involved in the business post-sale, so it was together with the share sale. There were a number of challenges there, but from initial meeting through to actual signing of contract was just over 3 months. So we were delighted.
Although we did mess Nicola about a little bit because it's about 2 years since we first told her we were thinking of selling the business. It's been on and off until we finally placed the business with her. But she didn't complain.
From the point of proceeding with a prospective buyer, Nicola really then handled all communication with them, which is extremely helpful. It meant that we weren't involved in those initial contacts, but we obviously would then respond to whatever was needed. But it was just helpful to have that involvement at that point. We certainly found Nicola's service ideal for us. It was flexible in the way she worked and really took on board the things that were important to us in terms of how we both presented the sale, the people we met, and all the way through to completion.
And I think we've found that because it was a very professional service, it gave us credibility with the prospective buyers. And I think we probably got a higher quality of buyer than perhaps if we tried to do it on our own. Very much so, yeah. So it was definitely a low-hassle way to sell your business.
And I think, as Louise said, it gave us credibility and just made the whole process really quite painless. Yeah, we knew that it was going to be tight to get through in the timescale that we'd set, but Nicola assured us we could do it, and we achieved it. So we're delighted.